Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week at Everything You Need to Know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news that trade seems to be rising and driven by an expanding Chinese economy. China has posted an enormous trade surplus in November. It hit a record $75 billion compared with a $58 billion October surplus, and analysts had expected just $53 billion. Their exports were up an impressive 21% in November compared with the same month a year ago, and their imports are up 4.5%. The politically sensitive surplus with the US was also up to $37 billion and representing half of the overall result. China ran a $412 million deficit with New Zealand in the month. With Australia, theirs was a $3.8 billion deficit, with imports from Australia falling 4.9%. China's foreign exchange reserves rose by more than $50 billion in November to the highest since August 2016, boosted by a weaker greenback and that trade surplus at record highs. They now stand at $3.2 trillion, or about 20% of China's GDP. And Taiwan's trade surplus didn't grow like China's, but the country posted very good year-on-year rise in exports of 12%. And that was almost matched by an equal rise in imports of 10%. Air cargo volumes are rising as well. In fact, cargoes into North America are now higher than the same November a year ago. Domestic air cargo there is up even more strongly. And while they're still well behind year-ago levels, air cargo volumes in the Asia-Pacific region are on the upswing. In Australia, S&P has downgraded the credit ratings for both the states of New South Wales and Victoria, dropping them from AAA to a AA+ status. That aligns them with both Western Australia and Queensland, and ahead of South Australia's AA rating. In Europe, the final Brexit talks are underway, and there's no air of optimism surrounding them, unfortunately, even as the UK has backed down on its threat to rip up a key prior agreement. This is the 11th hour, and still no substantial blinking from either side. US Treasury 10-year yield will start today softer at 0.93% in a 4 basis points reversal, and the price of gold is up solidly today, gaining $27 to $1,865 an ounce, or up 1.5%. And oil prices are unchanged at $46 a barrel in the US, while the international price is still just on $49 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar has firmed marginally to 70.6 US cents and off its recent highs, but at a similar level to a week ago. Against the Australian dollar, we've weakened slightly back to 94.8 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're unchanged to 58.2 euro cents. That means our trade-weighted index is still at 72.6. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.